Hi, welcome. Welcome people who've been on my webinars before. Come on back. It's lovely to be with you again. And welcome to those who are new today. This is our chance to get relaxed and calm. Yes, I am wearing what we call a sweater here in California. Northern California. We have cool summers. Come see us. I wish. So nice to be with you. Okay, let's start with my favorite way to start, which is by pausing and sensing how we are. How are you right now? Thank you so much for all of you who've written in the chat. Hello, hello. And now we're going to pause and just sense how we are. What does that take? What does it mean to pause and sense how you are? Well, pausing, really one of the most powerful and effective things you can do to have a calmer life. Just pause. I need a moment. I need a break. I need a pause. And a pause can be 10 seconds. We're going to take a little longer than that, but pausing is the first step. And so choosing to pause, I'm going to pause. Next, in your pause, bring awareness to your body. And I often realize, oh wait, I had not been feeling my body. I've been doing all kinds of things, walking around, sitting, but I'd not been in my body. So number one, pause. Number two, hello body. And the easiest thing I find is to feel my body in contact with what I'm sitting on. I find my rear, my seat, and I find my feet and my hands, what they're touching. And that's it. If I've been far away from my body and I haven't been in touch, I need an easy way to feel my body, and the easy way is to wiggle a little and really feel my body's contact on what I'm sitting on. And that usually feels good. And I know it might not for you, but often it feels good. It always feels good for me. Oh yeah, I'm sitting. And then I rest a little more into my support. Oh, Murray writes, my body gets an sense of release with this group. Wonderful. Yay. Great. So number one, pause. Number two, just even sinking into the lower body support, feeling that. And number three, how am I right now? And that often involves the inner area of the body. How am I right now? Noticing that if you gave an instant answer, there's probably more than that. So let's give a slower answer. How am I right now? Because, when I was growing up, you're supposed to just say, fine. How are you? Fine. And no checking. No checking to see if you're fine, just fine. So what if at first you don't answer, but just sense and wait? How am I really? So you say, how am I fine? The other person says fine, and they're a really good friend of yours, and you've got time. You say, yeah, but how are you really? Yeah. So how are you really? And letting that, like, maybe there's no words at first. Maybe there's a feeling, feeling, but no words at first. That's okay. I feel a little today. Stepped on the scale. It was a higher number than I wanted it to be. And then things started happening. You shouldn't have eaten that yesterday. You should be exercising more. So then I start feeling like, oh, I haven't been good. And there's a kind of an uneasy feeling about that. How about you? Let us know. Jan says, I sense how relaxed my jaw is because there's usually tension there. Yeah, we might sense a difference from how it has been. Especially nice to feel a positive, a difference in the direction of more relaxed. Sarah says agitated and sad. Okay, the sad had a new quality to it. Yeah, yeah. Ina has a feeling of agony. Okay, agony is there. That sounds hard. Murray says, my mood turned a little darker when I asked inside. All right. Interesting. Haja says she's hanging on to the safety rope. House hunting. Oh, that must be hard. Wendy says, I'm sensing a sad place that sort of whispered on the left side of my chest, moved into the center of my chest and felt stronger. Yeah, there can be a sequence. Something starts somewhere, feels different somewhere else. Yes. Yes. Nice and encouraged. Frustration. Yes, I hear you. Melancholic. Yeah, Susan, I hear that too. Yeah, yeah. Physically exhausted and sad about that. So, and Marcia writes, anxious with spike and virus in Florida. Yeah, the news. The other thing that happens every morning is I read the local newspaper, San Francisco Chronicle. Then I have to give myself some self-care for all the feelings that come up as I find out what's going on in the world. So what do we do next, right? And this is such a nice thing that I really love telling people about again and again. Once you find how you feel, how nice it is to acknowledge it. And so often, the habit is, let me try to fix my feeling, talk myself out of it, cheer up. This is my family. Cheer up. Don't feel that bad. Instead of, oh, that sounds hard. Wouldn't that have been great? Here's what you can do for yourself right now. Say, I really hear that to yourself. The hand helps. If you feel something in your body, heavy, tight, something, agony, frustrated, if you want to put a hand there, the hand helps, can help. Notice if it does. So you're not trying to make it go away. The hand is company. I'm with you, you say to yourself. Let's see how people are reacting to that one. So May, I'm really appreciating what May just wrote. I'm scared, something in me is scared. So that was the next thing I wanted to tell you about or remind you about is this 3-word phrase, something in me, and how empowering that can be for our inner relationship with the things that we're feeling. So starting with I'm scared, changing that to something in me is scared, noticing what happens. Starting with I'm frustrated, changing that to something in me is frustrated, noticing what happens. And so you might want to try that yourself with the feelings that you're finding right now. And so in my case, right, I have something in me that says I should have eaten differently yesterday and should have exercised more. And then I have another something that's feeling kind of hard to put that into words, but the body posture gets it. Sort of tired, beaten up, but not very cooperative. And those two can fight each other all day. what makes the difference is that I am not either one of those parts of me. They might feel like me until I make this choice to say, I am sensing this, and I'm sensing this, and I am here, and I am here. And I say to each one, hello, I know you're there. Hello, I know you're there too, and I am here. I am here to listen. I am here to listen. So this is a very powerful series of moves. We start with pausing, then we feel the body, then we sense, how am I? And then we use this acknowledging language to move into a relationship with how we feel. Noticing that that relationship is not a fixing, solving relationship. It's not a blaming, criticizing relationship. It's not a I know the answer relationship. It's I am here with you. It's a very simple, empathic relationship. And it has a quality of acceptance in it. Quality of acceptance. Yes. Yeah, so reading in the chat, people about feeling sad about the situation out there, of course, no wonder. Yeah. Patty writes, my bed broke. Oh, how frustrating and awful. And before I could even pause and breathe, I had a temper tantrum. I can so get that. Of course, of course. And a day later, I had more space. And Sue writes, something in me is so sad. That's such a, I want to just say about the something in me phrase, it's not meant to make the feelings smaller. We can say, something in me is so sad, so anxious, so furious. It's not a diminishing of anything. The phrase something in me is meant to help create relationship. Yeah, very nice. Something in me is exhausted. And Carol writes, oh, Carol, other people didn't see what you wrote though. Haja writes, something in me wants to know the outcome. Of course. So you can say to that one, of course you do. Yes, 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 yes. So good. So good. All right, I'm really appreciating what folks are writing in the chat. Very nice. So we pause, we sense, we turn toward how we feel. Now, am I more likely to exercise today? Something in me asks. I am more likely to make healthy choices if I'm not caught in identification with the voice that says I should and the part of me that doesn't like to be told what it should do. When I'm identified with, right, merged with a part of me that just wants to fight being told what to do, I kind of reach for the potato chips. I'll be more likely to make healthy choices when they come from my whole self. Not because I should make healthy choices, but because I'm sensing what I really want. What I really want. So let's hear what's going on for you. And tell me if there's something about things going on in your life and in this unprecedentedly stressful situation we're all facing that doesn't seem to be getting any better. How is it for you? Yeah. Yeah. Sarah says, I've been chasing myself all day, trying to change how I am. And that causes me so much suffering. So something in me has been chasing myself. Something in me has been trying to change how I am. And I say hello to that. Lonnie writes, something in me is judging. Nice, good, well done. Something in me wants to fix. Something in me wants to feel like it's moving forward, like I can't stay in my own skin. Oh, That sounds uncomfortable. It's really remarkable to me how powerful acknowledging can be. And I come from a long line of fixers. As soon as my mother heard me talk about a problem, she was trying to help me solve it. And that's nice, right? I mean, that's not abuse. She had the best of intentions. The trouble is that often the way she wanted me to solve my problems was to change my feelings. I would come home from school. I would talk about having been bullied. We didn't have the word bullied in those days, but girls were mean to me on the playground, I would say to my mother. It was really, really hard. I barely told my parents how miserable I was because of how I got treated at school. And I dared to tell my mother girls were mean to me on the playground. And what do I get? Well, maybe they were just trying to be friendly. Maybe they didn't know how to make friends and they were trying to make friends. I mean, oh my gosh. So her attempt to make me feel better, help me feel better, fix me, ends up being her standing up for my bullies instead of for me. So this is something that means a lot to me. The ways that we try to change how we feel instead of allowing how we feel. That's one of the reasons why acknowledging is so powerful. And it's also a way we can talk to each other. Do you have friends and family members who are telling you about hard feelings they're having? And do you feel like that's hard for you because you don't know what to do, what to say? Well, try, that sounds really hard. I'm so sorry you're having to go through that. Sometimes I feel like that would have made my life so much easier if my mom would have said, that sounds really hard. Of course, then I would have wanted her to call up the parents of those girls or talk to the teachers or do something more than that. But sometimes we can't actually do anything to help other people except really hear how they feel. Yeah. No, Carol, you say you're getting flu all the time. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, must be awful. And Susan writes, something in me is grabbing hold and won't be pulled out the door into a world it feels is dangerous. No wonder. I got a very vivid image from that, Susan, of, somebody like grabbing on. You're not going to get me out there. Of course. And maybe that's wise. Yeah. Elizabeth writes, I'm noticing I'm beginning to surrender to not knowing what's going to happen. I so much want to be in control, something in you, but I can't know when the pandemic will be over. Yeah, hello to something in me that wants to know. Hello to something in me that has a really hard time not knowing. Hello to something in me that's feeling anxious about not knowing. And as we say hello to all those feelings, who is it who's saying hello? I call that self in presence, who can say hello to any feeling. In other words, it's not a part of me that says hello to my parts. It's me. It's all of me. And as I say, hello, I hear you. Hello, I hear you. Yeah, I really hear hello, part of me. Hello, part of me. I really hear how much you hate uncertainty and how anxious you are. I don't have to share those feelings. So what happens? Is there another way to respond to uncertainty? Well, that's kind of what Elizabeth's talking about. Beginning to surrender to not knowing. Like, There can be a spacious not knowing, but we don't have to try to feel that way. When we acknowledge all of our feelings, what happens is we cultivate that sense of being the one who can acknowledge them. And there is a greater calm there. And I invite you to give that a try and see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. And Donna is asking about these conversations with other people, whether we ever talk about something in you to the other person. You know, not unless the conversation gets to another stage. That's really hard for you. I know you're sensing so much, you're so frustrated, you're really feeling stressed right now. I don't think I'd feel as well understood if somebody says something in me. Because when we say that to another person, there is a little hint of wanting to change them. But when I say that, if the conversation gets to another stage, like if the person says, I wish I knew a way to not feel so stressed by these feelings, then we can say, well, one way that's worked for me is to try using the phrase something in me, and then give an example. Yeah. Oh, now I'm reading about people who can relate to my mom. Thank you. I really like hearing that. Yeah. Yeah. So good. So good. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Murray. Sending compassion to the young Ann on the playground. Oh, yeah, it went on for years too. Something in me is so angry at my brother-in-law, quote unquote, the bully, or parentheses, the bully. Yeah. So yes, now we talk about action, because feelings sometimes need to lead to action. I love talking about feelings, right? Emotions. Emotions make sense. They come from our connection with ourselves and the world. They may be out of proportion to what's happening in the current situation because something from our own past is getting triggered. But they always make sense, even if it's something from our past. It makes sense somehow. And when people are hurting each other in front of us, when someone's bullying somebody else, or there's injustice, it makes sense to be angry. And then how can we find a way to turn anger into action, into effective action, into, no, that's not right, and I'm not going to accept it. I don't know the answer to that. I just know that it would have been nice if someone had helped me with my bullies, somebody bigger than me who had more powers. Yeah. And Catherine's telling us the story about a friend who asked how she was, but then didn't want to hear the answer. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened. That sounds bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for people who are here, participating, writing. It's so nice to be with you like this. And I'm really glad we get to do this every week. If you're here for the first time, you get to come back every week. We do it at different times of day. Starting next week, the later time is going to be an hour later than it has been because of something else I'm doing. Oh, okay, Dinah is explaining that she wasn't really suggesting we say something in you to the other person, but to think about the other person as having a something in them in order to be more compassionate. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Whatever helps compassion is really great. Yeah, very good. Very good. Oh, Ula, that's interesting. When I came on the call, I was wiped out and wired. Yeah, I bet a lot of people are feeling that too. Wiped out, exhausted, tired, and wired, keyed up at the same time. And when we're in stressful times, it's very natural to feel that way. And then, and yet that way of feeling is very internally hard on the nervous system. I'm happy to hear, Ula, that being here helped you start to calm down. Yes, very good. So nice to be with you today. Let's just remind ourselves one more time of this powerful practice, and that I would love to know that I don't know how I was going to finish that sentence. I offer you this, and for you to sense if it feels right for you to do all day long, all week long. So number one, pause. Number two, sense in the body. Sense how you are. And if there's a quick answer, ask again. And allow how you are to be nonverbal, sounds, doesn't have to have a name, a word. But then say, something in me feels. And I'm saying hello to that. All righty. See you next week. Mwah. Have a good time.